Hello, Guilders, and welcome in to Precipice of Prestigia. I'm Tim the Wizard, your humble game master, and tonight we're going to be playing Masks and New Generation, set in the land of the bubble. We're going to dive right into the game, but before we do so, we're going to go around and introduce the players and just a brief summation of their lovely character. The Sesh, why don't we start with you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Seshcast. I'm a he they. I will be playing Nyx, who is they them, just mainly Nyx. A energy being from the stars, here to study humanity and take lessons from the people around him.
Excellent. I will make sure to have the I'll make sure to have the overlay updated for next time. Beautiful. Next we have Grems.
Hi, this is Grems, or Gremlins R Us, if you prefer. I don't know why I said it like that. She, her, and I will be playing Starlight on the wing. She, they. An Owlin that, to the community at large, probably came up out of nowhere, but she's a rising star, pun incredibly intended, from the Billowing Mountains.
Amazing. Next we have Domino.
Hey, what it do? I am Domino RBG. My pronouns are he, they, and I will be playing Remy G, whose pronouns are she, they. She is a genetic oddity from the Eldath system, who is nigh invulnerable.
Perfect. And last but certainly not least, we have Right Cube.
Hi, I'm Right Cube. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing, well, the Bubble's worst nightmare,
Oh dear.
but Leviatar's special girl, Lola. Who's she, her?
Incredible. Amazing. So we start our story out in space in the astral sea. They in the just expanse of wild space, and as we are flying, we approach well, first of course we have the comic book cover, right, where everybody is on. We all see the party on the cover of the comic book, all posed and stylized. What does everybody look like as they're kind of posing here on the cover of this comic book? Like, Nyx, why don't you start?
Nyx is in a very slim suit of armor that contains a body of energy that is unstable if outside. All blue with a little cape on the back.
Awesome. Yeah, we see Nick standing there with like his cape billowing out behind him, like energy kind of like manifesting and glowing at his fingertips of this like constructed hands. What about Lola?
Lola is standing as far as she could get in front, with her hand on her hip and like kind of tilted sideways, winking at the camera and giving a peace sign.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like Lola is definitely like, breaking the fourth wall and kind of addressing the audience in this moment, as she is also like cold cocking like a mysterious figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just dead out in front. Absolutely. Yeah. What about Remy, Dom?
Remy is also going to be slightly off center, but she is standing like with her leg up, almost like a Captain Morgan style, and like her hand over her eyes as she's like looking off into the distance with a huge grin on her face.
Hell yeah. And the knee is like, you're like very Captain Morgan style, but it's on like a pile of like bodies that she is just like defeated, that are all like just piled up in front of her.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredible. And what about Starlight, Grabs?
I feel like Starlight would be in her battle form, as it were, in flight, in the middle, but in the very back, like almost somewhat in the background a little bit, just like calling down stars, and that projection of the astral sea kind of like maybe I'm just spitballing, maybe kind of forms a little bit of the background overall.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think we kind of have this like panning, almost like panning shot of the front cover, right? Where you are like in the background gliding above this landscape, which kind of like stretches out from the foreground to the back. And as it does so, like we see all of the party members like located in the front of it, right? Like all posing majestically, while in the back it kind of stretches out further, almost like parallaxing outward, like duplicate copies. And we see in the background like Starlight's silhouette, kind of like almost like repeated as in the background they're flying over like distant copies of the this beautiful floating island landscape, which as we cut back to our narration, as we cut back into our scene, we see this just absolutely beautiful floating mountain, just floating majestically in the emptiness of wild space, seemingly held aloft by nothing. It is kind of just rocketing along under these large thrusters that have been almost like strapped to it. It seems like, as we kind of float down towards the top, we it's evident that there is like clearly like a mountain peak that this small town or city has been constructed around. And as we fly down, the camera pans through like this beautiful garden with exotic and incredible and magical looking plants that are some of them so vibrant and colorful that like it's catching the eye of people that are walking by. We also see like in the background, like people are kind of like creeping around in like the dark underbrush and in the bushes, like lugging something. There's like a silhouette of some shape, but it's unclear what it is. As we continue to fly by, then we end up in the flying by the hospital, which appears to be like heavily outdated with magical tech, like both in the vehicles that are coming up to it, and as well as like the things that are kind of strapped to the building, like having power sources or energy or other things kind of like beaming into the hospital itself. As the camera continues, like we see there's also like a downtown area which appears to be like heavily like residential, lots of people moving to and fro, but these appear to be like very well-to-do folks. Like you see lots of very opulent storefronts and like rich-looking people moving about in this place. It appears to be a very kind of well-to-do area. As we continue, before we kind of end directly in front of like the university, which is like just kind of almost at the base of the peak of the mountain, where it is just kind of built up and this large facility. And as our kind of tour comes to a close, the camera kind of collectively floats down and we see, let's say, Lola. What we find Lola like asleep in her room. What does Lola's starting of the day look like?
Well, she has a bunch of posters of herself all over her room, and for different magazines, different promotions, all since she was a little girl until the 18-year-old she is now. I think in the morning she wakes up, she gets out of bed, and she immediately sends a message to her followers, reminding them that as long as they are in pain, they are pleasing Leviatar, but they will never be in as much pain as she is. And she gets up, she dodges some boxes of Leviatonic, the brand that she sponsors and has the face on. And I think she just goes through and checks her social media while she gets this universe's form of social media, while she gets like she brushes her hair, she puts on her makeup, she brushes her teeth, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. As you are like looking through the various updates on social media and stuff, you see that it looks like the rival drink to Leviatonic, Eldath Cola. It looks like they have. Pardon me. It looks like they are about to announce a new spokesperson. Some time today.
Ugh. She makes a face like she's disgusted by this idea, and she I think that she also posts immediately after another status update with her thumbs down, looking at the camera, and the caption is just like, whatever Eldath Cola is trying to do, they're just a whole bunch of posers.
Amazing. I think go ahead. As you're doing this, what kind of reaction are you attempting to like invoke? Like, are you just trying to like fan flames?
Yeah, I'm trying to fan flames and get put them down before they get up.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're incredibly successful. Eldath are notorious. Eldath, people who hail from the Peacemaker Corps, notoriously thin-skinned when it comes to online interaction on since the interaction. So you are able to like fan those flames no problem as you're kind of getting ready and getting ready to head out. You also get a notice from the university that there is a mandatory meeting this morning to discuss a closed topic event that the university is going to be asking of the students.
Ooh. Well, upon getting this note, I think she's going to make sure she's all set to go. She is really basking in the tears she knows Eldath is shedding right now for their stupid cola drink or whatever. And she grabs a whole carton of Leviatonic to bring to this meeting and share with everybody because it burns so good.
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely. With Leviatonic in tow, you head out. Do you think Lola lives in like the on-site like living quarters at the university, or do you think she lives downtown? What do you think?
I think she lives in the residence halls mainly so she can have as much influence over people as possible. And to influence people, you need to be among them, even if they are less than you.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Lola, you strut out of the halls, like very promptly getting to the university meeting. Excellent. We're gonna go ahead and cut on over to Remy. Remy G, what does it look like as you are getting ready in the morning?
Remy's alarm goes off ridiculously early in the morning. And so like we see just like an arm reach out from her bed to her nightstand where this alarm clock is ringing, and it just very carefully grabs the clock, and she just slowly crushes it in her hand until it stops. And then she pulls herself out of bed and she reaches in a drawer, pulls out a replacement alarm clock, gets out of bed, grabs like just those big jugs of like protein, grabs one of those, rips the lid off, dumps like an entire carton of milk into it, shakes it up, and gets to sipping that for her breakfast before she goes and terrorizes the university gym for her early morning workout. We're talking weights unintentionally like slammed through the floor, stuff like that. Before she gets back, showers, brushes her teeth. Her room has like a punching bag in it. It looks like this punching bag has been replaced numerous times. But there's just mostly like exercise equipment. It's a very practical to what she does type of room. There's not too much in the way of personal effects. Because she's still like kind of learning like what she actually likes in the way of like media, things like that. So you don't really see any like posters or anything like that. Um, but after she gets back from her workout and is showered and everything, she'll just get dressed in something simple, which is just like, some like slightly ripped leggings, boots, um, a sleeveless, like form fitting top. And she checks her crystal and she sees immediately Lola just being a shit on the internet. And then also going after Eldath Cola. And true to form to having thin skin, she comments on Lola's post. Yeah, well, you can come run the ones about it. Like, we can fight anytime. And after that is when she'll check emails from professors, anything like that, sees that there's a very important meeting that she's supposed to go to. But first, breakfast. And so she's going to head to the cafeteria and she is going to have multiple plates piled high with carbs, protein, the usual. Like, she needs as much energy as she possibly can get into her.
Hell yeah, absolutely. As you're carbo loading, you also see that there are a couple of other like despite it being like early morning still, you see that there are a few other folks there that are also like maybe not doing the same like with as much veracity and eating nearly as much food, but there are a few folks there. You notice one of them is one of the other children of the Titans, except they're not a member of House Kronos like you and the rest of the crew are. They're a member of House Phoebe, and you see Lars Gravesale, who is a satyr. He's also like got a just huge pile of food. He's got like a couple of like one or two trays, and like they're kind of piled high as well. Not as much as yours, but like he's like clearly munching hard.
Remy like looks across, sees, and she can't resist but just be like, "Hey, nice snack you got there."
He actually does not even notice you when you speak to him. He's just like he is zoned out, and he is just like he is completely into his food.
She flicks a hash brown at him.
You hit him like hits him right in the eye, and he like flinches out of it. And he goes, "Ooh, whoa, man, what was that for?"
Oh, my bad. I was just trying to get your attention. That didn't hurt, did it?
Nah, dude, it was like surprising though. Are you gonna eat that? It like landed on the ground.
You, you can, you can have it.
Oh hell yeah! And he's just like he doesn't even pick it up with his hands. He just bends down and eats it like off the ground with his mouth.
Remy just like her face, like if this were an anime, like it just goes chibi for a quick second, and she just go, "Oh," before snapping right back to normal. And she's just like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to continue eating my food. I strayed into his lane. I bothered him. My bad.
Amazing. Like, yeah, I think he's pretty out of it in this moment. So as you like, if that will be the end of the interaction, if you don't continue, he'll just continue to go back to his food and keep eating.
Yeah, she's completely fine to let him go back to like what he was doing. She's just like, you know what? Clearly, I have disturbed something. That's on me. My bad. So she's going to finish eating her food before she, you know, uh, starts making her way. This meeting is in the auditorium, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before she starts making her way to the auditorium, but she's also just going to send out a message just in case to the rest of the crew. Hey, meeting at, whatever hall at such and such time. Don't take too long.
Hell yeah, yeah. You send that that text message blast off. Excellent. And I think at that point, like we, okay, we'll cut back to that in real time as more people are getting it, are getting up to speed. So as you send that text off, we cut back to Starlight. What does her morning routine look like?
It's probably very regimented. Like the alarm goes off, turns off almost immediately. The usual grooming. Puts on this very snazzy uniform with orange accents. Puts on their necklace with the symbol of Mistra. And makes some notes about the day, some goals, some observations about the fight from yesterday, etc., etc. And then I guess she's gonna, for her sort of exercise before she like stops at the cafeteria, goes on a little flight. Cause she's a 3 foot tall Alan sort of person.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you just kind of going on like a general flight in order for like exercise, like you mentioned?
Yeah, a little bit for exercise and a little bit just kind of like getting the vibe of the area, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were flying around, you see the places that had been previously mentioned. You see like the large garden in the downtown area. You do also see that there is like a small entertainment style district kind of separated off from the downtown. You also see that in addition to the hospital, there's also like kind of on the backside of this kind of large floating mountain ship is what appears to be like a power production facility kind of built into the side of it, and you're able to kind of see that as you're taking your like functionally your morning jog flying around the island.
And then I'm going to very cheekily kind of do a little bit of a flyby to see if her mentor is already up. It could be a little, they could be a little early to catch them, but see if her professor page of a book is around. Like just kind of like sailing by that window.
Sure, absolutely. As you do, you look into like to the window. You don't see him inside of his cat house. Funnily enough.
I'm assuming it's like his classroom, right? Or his office.
Well, oh, sorry. Were you dropping by? I assumed you were dropping by his like living quarters, but were you dropping by his office instead?
His office, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to just randomly stop by people's. I might note that for later.
If you stop by his office at the like in the university halls, absolutely, yeah, you see him there. You see he is like he's working on something.
What floor is his office on? Now that I think about it, as in, is there an easy way for her to get in without using the window?
Oh, there are. It is a multi-floored building, but there are landings on higher floors because the Astral Sea is a little bit funny like that. So people can kind of. There's enough of an ability to be able to get around under people's own power that they have like landings for like higher up places.
Awesome. So he probably clocked her immediately because it's kind of hard to miss her. But she's gonna do the landing and go around to the door like a normal humanoid. And knock.
Yes, come in. Of course. He's like you see as you walk in, he is like currently like pawing over basically a like what is the equivalent of like an old school style chalkboard. dated by our standards in real life and dated definitely in the bubble as well. As he is kind of like, you see him like doing some kind of long form magical calculations.
Ah, yes, analog calculations. Interesting.
Yes, yes, you know me. I don't care much for these pieces of volume tech, even if they are rebranded with Sheedanism. Like, I still can't believe they made me get one of these things. And he holds up his crystal chorus, and he says, they made me take one of these to be a professor here, right? It wasn't a choice.
They can do that?
I mean, it's the conglomerate. They could do whatever. I mean, I'm a pretty powerful, wizard, but it's still the board, right?
Of course, of course. So I did my daily fly. I took my notes. I see this kind of fumbles through her crystal. She's not very well versed in it because, her background, and she's like kind of fumbling through it. It's like, okay, so I see this email. I need to report to this at this time. Do you happen to have a heads up on anything about it?
Oh yes, but I think it would be best to hear it from the dean, as well. It's about the what happened the other day.
Oh, about the stadium?
Yes, about that. But not about you. And he moves forward, like realizing he might have misspoke. Oh, it's not about you, not directly at least. You don't need to be concerned about anything like repercussions like that or anything. No, it's about the threat, the ongoing one.
Oh, what did he call himself? Warren? I don't remember. Anyway, okay. I think she was like kind of withdrawn, like kind of tucked into herself before like the plumicorns, which are like horns, quote unquote, were kind of pushed back, but she kind of perks right back up.
It's good to see you doing your regular training. If the ascent of the corporate ladder is a hard one, and keeping it consistent with it will affirm that for you.
Oh, of course, I appreciate you noticing. Definitely staying consistent. It's all what I'm about.
Of course, and if you work too hard, you can just turn back time, right? And he winks at you.
And she kind of tilts her head to the side, like, I don't know, rotates it like from being like 9 and 3 to like 10 and 2. Anyway, I'll be on my way. Sorry to interrupt you. Kind of looks over at the magical equation to see if she can help at all.
Sure, as you look at it, you definitely recognize that it is time like magic of some nature, but it looks really advanced. Like it's like a highly advanced, like almost like a theoretical equation that they're working on.
Oh no, actual math. But she'll wave with both her hand and a wing, and they'll hop off or fly off, I guess.
Awesome. So it sounds like everybody lives at the university at this point.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the Billowing Mountains arranging for private accommodation, so staying on campus is the way to go.
Amazing. I love it. Excellent. What about Nyx? What does their morning routine look like?
Deep in the sub-basement of sub-basement of sub-basement of the academy, in a very large, like super high security sealed room, is a pod where you'll find Nyx, stamped with the IO stamp of approval, for lovely high tech, sealment containers. And inside, because he is kind of in this tube, and doesn't really need to sleep, they kind of give him some sort of like virtual reality, like mind kind of thing for him to watch social media and learn lessons on that are approved by the conglomerate, obviously. So he's probably watching like Lola live and being like, haha, that's why Lola's the leader. And is probably waiting, and then when he gets that ping, they're gonna like it's gonna move out of the way so that they can watch more Lola like content instead of waiting. But then they probably are ejected from the pod, and they're like, huh, well, I guess I have to go. And it's just kind of walking and like waiting at this huge door that takes forever to open, and there's just lock after lock after. They don't want anyone to break in here again and release this monster, this 2-year-old energy being. So he's just waiting for all the doors to open, maybe messaging the group, I'm on my way. Actually, he's gonna call everyone instead of messaging. He loves to call the entire group whenever he has a message to give them.
Incredible.
Jesus Christ, that one friend.
So you hit mass call in the group chat, and who answers the mass call?
Lola definitely does.
Remy does as well.
She FaceTimes, the FaceTime equivalent of the crystal.
But Remy's also like, hey Nyx, like it's not super like necessary to always call when you have a message, but we're really happy to hear from you.
No, you can call anytime you want, my sweet baby.
I learned it's important to always deliver messages voice to voice.
Exactly.
Who taught you that?
It was me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but they're gonna establish an online presence somehow. So the people want to hear the voice, The voice is the most powerful tool, in my opinion. You know how strong my voice is.
Shut up!
Thank you so much.
Why do you talk so much?
I'm on the
Don't
way.
answer that.
How important is it that I get there at a fast time?
I mean, on time is probably what's preferred.
You can get there like 10 minutes late, so just enough to annoy all the people that want to gather us for the.
Lola, don't. Just
Remy,
get your
please.
time.
Remy, please. Please.
All we have to do is be on time. You just hear flapping in the background. Was this call really necessary?
Okay.
Yes. You did great. Nyx, you did great. I'm so proud of you.
Lola. That's
You're
why
welcome.
you're the leader.
Thanks.
No, she's
Remy,
not.
I'm the leader.
She's not. She's not the leader.
I'm the leader.
I
will crush your skull.
Please.
I'm not taking orders from you. Thank you very much.
That's why I'm the leader. Okay, bye. And then she hangs up.
Nyx will hang up as well, and then instead of waiting for all of the like locked doors to open, we'll just start walking through all of them, just destroying them in his wake.
Amazing.
This is malarkey of the highest caliber, Remy.
Wow.
She gets him on her side, or them on her side, and then. All right, I'll meet you at the hall. I gotta catch up.
Amazing. The call clicks quiet, and we cut to the hall where everybody has gone in,